everybody, it's Jennifer Seeger and welcome back to my channel, The Seeger Stories. So if you're following my channel, it's been a couple weeks since I have posted a new video and I apologize. It's another crazy time, but I do work a full-time job, which has been very busy lately, and we had some travel. And if you can see, there's some paint in my hair actually, and on my hands. We are doing some house projects, which I am filming, but it'll be a while before they're up because slow goes it in limited time. But anyway, we are into the month of September, so I wanted to take a minute and just check in on my monthly goals. Again, if you're following my channel, you know that I am breaking out my 2020 resolutions month by month and just trying to learn new skills or do things that better myself, get organized, things like that. So I'll link the playlist so you can go and check everything out if you haven't been following along. But for August, I wanted to do a recap of how things went. So I was really focused in the month of August on getting anybody else get hair stuck to lip gloss? Anyway, I was really focused on a bedtime routine. I have been having a little bit of trouble sleeping lately, and I've had a lot of energy from all the stuff that we've been doing and some of the vitamins that I've been taking that I've talked about in previous videos. So I was just having trouble like getting to bed at a decent hour was kind of problem one, and then problem two is kind of an ongoing thing where I'm waking up in the night and then not being able to fall back to sleep. And I thought really if I could lend some consistency to a bedtime routine, that would be really, really good for me. So I did pretty well in the month of August. As always, my goal is to hit about 80% of the time. Obviously, if we have things going on, like we're at an event or, you know, not an event, but like out with friends or dinner or something that goes a little bit later, then you're not getting your bedtime routine on. But I started kind of at the 8:30, 9 o'clock mark, winding down. That would be when most of the time, and I failed at this part a little bit more than I succeeded, but put my phone away. And we actually, if you can see this table behind me, have a little charging station. So I kept the phone out of the bedroom and put the phone here to charge and tried to get that at least out of my hands, at least not bring it into the bedroom, but tried to stop with screens around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I had a few books that I was reading, so sometimes I would take time to read a book. And sometimes if I was feeling like I wasn't tired at all, I would take a minute to do just some stretching and yoga poses. In our gym, we have like a mat laid out, so Ruby gets really excited when I'm down on the floor with her, but I could go and do that. The other thing that I actually discovered, and it's gonna be impossible to show here, but on my Fitbit, I was kind of playing around with it like sometime mid-month, and there was this whole, it's not gonna show up in the camera, but this whole thing called Relax, and it's a 2-minute breathing session that I could follow along on my phone. So all of those things really helped in getting me calmed down and ready to at least go lay in bed around 9:30. Sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later, but ballpark 9:30 to try to get a decent night's sleep. So all that has been working really well. I feel like I accomplished the goal in the month of August as far as relaxing. I guess the other thing I didn't mention that I kind of start doing in the evenings, I had envisioned doing it a little later, but I usually did a good pickup. Like once we did the dinner dishes and everything, in addition to cleaning up the kitchen, I did kind of a house reset. So it was really nice to just make sure that unless we were using them, like blankets were folded, Ruby's toys were picked up, anything that I needed to remember for the next day, I would set out by the door. I like packing my lunch in the morning, so I wasn't a pack lunch at night kind of person, but just kind of getting things ready and preparing myself, sometimes laying out my clothes if I knew what I wanted to wear, but I'm not one to stress in the mornings about what I'm wearing, so that's not like a thing for me. But if I knew I had like a special event or a reason I needed to be a little more dressed up, I'd take care to figure that stuff out, usually right after dinner, and then we'd sit down to relax, watch a show, visit, go on a long walk, things like that before we were winding down. So I feel like I'm not talking about a lot of consistency, like that was a lot of different things that we did, but I feel like I was better in the mindset of relaxing and calming down before going to bed and not like scrolling on my phone for hours, things like that. The one thing that was truly a change over the month was setting my phone, as I mentioned, out on our charging station. At first I thought I was gonna need an alarm. but I didn't want to go shopping for one. I have a sunrise alarm clock and that has always gone off for me, but I've always had my phone going off like an alarm as well. And sometimes I'd wake up before it. It would always go off at 5:15, but sometimes I'd wake up before, sometimes a little, you know, hit and snooze. So I decided to try anyway, not using the alarm. I don't like the alarm sound on the sunrise alarm clock, and the radio stations, we can never get a decent radio station to come in. So I left it just the light and nothing else. And I was actually really surprised at how consistently I was waking up. If we'd had a later night, yes, sometimes I would sleep until 6, but it has been really nice waking up naturally over the last month. And I think that's something that I'm definitely going to continue. So not really part of the bedtime routine, but sort of related, like it's now part of my morning routine that I am just waking up with that sunrise alarm clock, which is really, really nice since we're heading into the dark winter months and I'm not going to be getting up with the sun, because that'll start being like 7:30, 8 o'clock until it gets light outside. But just waking up naturally has been really nice too. So that's a recap on how the month of August has gone. I want to shift gears and talk a little bit about my new goal for September, which I'm really excited about. So I have used, and I'm not going to show the inside of this, but oh, let me see if I can get it to focus in. It's not focusing in. It's kind of a shiny, got a shiny cover on it. It's a Day Designer. These are planners I've had for the last 2 years. I get them at Target, and this is what I use for work. Now, I can't really show because I have written out like days and days, but I have like a list of everything I need to get done in the day. Okay, it's a little hard to show up, but I like these planners because they have I don't really use this column. This is an hour by hour. I don't use this at work. They have like a to-do list with a check mark, and then they have notes. So I just mostly use the middle column with check marks. This is the one I use for work. It took me a while to find a blank page because not only do I put in my daily tasks, but I will go out throughout the year and know that like at work every Tuesday, I need to do this thing. There are reports that I need to pull on Mondays. There are things I need to process on Wednesdays. So I have a very structured job like that. And so I use that system at work, and I have for probably 10 plus years. The crazy part is, as I have never applied this, I'll call it logic, to my personal life. So that is my goal for September, is to get a little more organized in my personal life, house projects, vlogging things I want to get done. I feel like I keep the list of what I need to get doing in my head. And sometimes I'll put like personal things on my work list, like if I need to, you know, pay a bill or something specific, I'll write it into my work one because I'm sitting at the computer. But I feel like I'm not as well organized with the day-to-day stuff during the week as I could be. And what happens for us too often is things just snowball until the weekend. Like, I'm tired during the week. Obviously, we all are, you know, you work a full day outside of the house most days. I do work from home some of the time, and it's nice to be able to do a couple things here and there. But a lot of times I am working out of the house, and by the time you get back and you walk the dog and you do the dinner and you do the cleanup and you start all the things, there's just a very narrow window. And I, yes, need to relax, but don't want to be wasteful of the time that I could utilize during the week as well. So I thought it would be nice to get a similar planner, and I picked this one up at HomeGoods. It's just a Rae Dunn, and it's actually 2023, but it had the months for 2022, so I thought this would be a good start. It doesn't have the check boxes, but I started filling it out here. I like that it just has, let's see if I can focus here, like a day by day here. So I could, I actually just started it here with the month of September. So I could have like a day by day, and I built my own check boxes, and then I can look ahead and really start to fill this in. What I hope to do, in addition to kind of the short-term tasks, like we have a wedding coming up that we're going to, we have a few weddings this fall actually, and trips and things. So planning how to get organized for those things, planning some different filming that I want to do for vlogging, but also get in a habit, I guess, of sorting out some of the house projects throughout the week, like painting repairs, remodeling, things that we're working on. Yes, some of that stuff, but also some of the typical, you know, like clean the bathrooms, or just maybe, you know, Mondays scrub down the showers and make sure this is done. I know a lot of people do that, like daily tasks, things that need to be done weekly, monthly. And I've never been organized with that. So I'm leaving it kind of open for September. I will recap next month. I'm not sure how it's all going to play out, but my goal is really to put pen to paper, have a notebook, and I liked this one just because it's smaller in size. I don't know if I can find it. Like I said, I got it at HomeGoods. I know I can link the other one that I get at Target. If I can find something similar, I'll link them both below. But really the focus is going to be on keeping my tasks organized and spreading them out, so I don't feel like when I get to Saturday, the whole day is just shot because, oh my gosh, I have to get all of this stuff done. So yeah, that's the goal I'm working on in the month of September. I appreciate you watching this video. If you are working on some different goals and things, or if you have some tried and true tricks on how you break up your tasks throughout the week, I would love to hear from you. Please leave me a comment below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.